Pay me, pay me, pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver now.
Road to Rooted.com. A lot of people looking for gold and silver to break out because of war, because of economic destruction, because of don't think that way. I remember 9/11 thinking, oh my God, boy, gold and silver are going to really run, and they really did not. As a matter of fact, it is times like these that they put even a bigger hammer on the gold and silver price manipulation. So nothing affects anything at all in the gold and silver world. Only one thing does: the price suppression by a handful of theoretically bullion banks. I was talking to Chris Powell of GATA. He's like, this is the government. This is 100% the government. I agree to a point. I think the bullion banks absolutely piggyback off what the government does, so they'll run the book for the government. We already know that from the U.S. Mint, by the way. That's why they lost $110 million in 2001 on their hedge, a year that the price of silver went down. Completely illegal and transparent. But yeah, do not expect the price of gold and silver to do anything because of, a nuclear bomb could go off and blow up the world, and the price of gold and silver wouldn't do anything. The only thing that's going to allow the price of gold and silver to trade freely is the shutdown of the COMEX. The futures and options exchange that trades, well, let's take a look at what was traded on Friday, right here. 450 million ounces of silver were dumped on the market on Friday. These are banks trading back and forth with each other to set the price. The interesting thing is all the silver COMEX contracts that are going over to London, the LBMA, Harvey Organ keeps good track of that. I think we're at 51. I think he didn't add Fridays yet, which would put it at 55 million for the first week in October, which is on track to be a record. Over 200 million ounces is what we're looking like. It is not a coincidence that JP Morgan just got the okay to go ahead and trade. As a matter of fact, if you look at this chart, this is, what is this? The 1 month chart of silver. If you were to guess, where would you say in this chart that JP Morgan was allowed to start trading silver again? If you said right here, the 25th, you would be correct. The funny thing is the CFTC, that's supposed to be the regulator, the only thing they're interested in is continuing the manipulation. They have a ex-JP Morgan employee as one of the commissioners. We all know Rustin Benham is running cover for the whole game, but they actually have a JP Morgan ex-banker as one of the commissioners, doing a bang-up job. Nice job, CFTC. Nice job, United States of America. So do not expect anything to happen, even if Russia lobs nukes on us. Silver wouldn't trade above $30. It's not allowed. Gold wouldn't trade above $2,000. It's not allowed. Well, actually, they don't care that much about gold. They can have gold trade $5,000, $10,000, $20,000. It's not going to affect much anything. Truthfully, it won't affect anything. Silver, on the other hand, it would affect everything. Gold does not change anything about the whole situation. It's no longer a barometer of what's going on with the U.S. dollar or fiat money. It's no longer that. It's been rigged for so long. And just keep in mind that gold, the bankers own most of the gold. Very little gold is owned by the people. Very little silver is owned by the people. But the bankers hardly own any silver. I think JP Morgan's billion ounces that they stole while they were rigging the price over those 8 years, I think that's gone. I'm pretty sure it's gone, at least to Bank of America through some kind of structured deal. It should all be winding up about now. So we'll see. But right now, don't look at the price of silver. Never look at the price of silver. It's all fake. It trades at what? A little over 40% of its all-time high from 1980. How much money has been printed in the last 43 years? That's how much silver should have gone up in relation to that if it was freely traded, but it's not freely traded. Gold's gone up almost triple, but silver's less than half of what it was. And then in 2011, again, JP Morgan brought the price of silver up to $50 and then slammed it down. A guy named Bill Daley did that as Obama's chief of staff. That's how important this stuff is. Silver's so important. They put the number 2 guy to the U.S. president, the guy who advises him, the guy who says, here's what we need to do, to the president, had to be a JP Morgan guy because of the silver short position. So they are not all powerful. They do have to make maneuvers. The good guys can take them out at any moment, I believe. So, and it won't be on the COMEX. I think the COMEX will shut down, force majeure. People get confused. The COMEX it's a derivative market for silver and gold and all commodities. It's used to set the prices, not discover prices, not to hedge anything. It's used to set the prices. You can just tell by the volumes. You know, how many mines are now hedging their silver? Barely any, and the ones that do are criminal. Barrick, which already had a default. They had a default on the silver that was old from their Pesquita mine down in Mexico that went on strike. So, yeah, this game is not going to end pretty. If you can just hang in there a little longer and hang on to your silver, and when it runs, you're not going to even want to sell your silver. You'll be hanging out. You'll be looking to buy. When silver breaks $50, you'll be running around looking to see if you can get any more silver. Just keep that in mind. All right. Again, another exchange for physical of 40. This would be close to 45 million ounces. No, 4,500,000 ounces. Was sent over to London for delivery. Let's take a look at just, the COMEX, when they did their investigations into silver, said, no, silver isn't rigged on the COMEX. Look, the silver price on the COMEX matches the physical price in London. So they're claiming that London is a physical market only. So let's look at the clearing data for London silver. On Friday, they delivered. These are transfers of physical silver, 247 million ounces just on Friday. So we know this is a huge con. And oh, by the way, we were told by one of the main traders at JP Morgan years ago, who wrote in the LBMA magazine, The Alchemist, that these numbers represent a net transfer. The real numbers are 3 times bigger. So 3 times that, 750 million physical ounces were transferred on Friday at the LBMA. That's how much of a con this is. Everything's bullshit. It's all bullshit. The U.S. Mint, although, because I screamed at my guy saying, hey, why aren't you posting the numbers? And I thought they weren't making them. He said, no, they just haven't posted the numbers. Who's in charge of posting numbers? How hard is it to go over to your sales department and say, okay, how many Silver Eagles did we sell today? And by their statement right here, sales totals by month are updated every weekday by 5 p.m. Are they just sitting around, not doing anything for a couple weeks, and then they sell them? Every weekday by 5 p.m. So nothing's been posted lately. I mean, it's like the U.S. Mint doesn't think they have to follow the rules of anything, the law of anything. Ventures Gibson can say, we've massively expanded Silver Eagle production, and yet they can't even do half of what they did before. Now, apparently, according to my guy Jack Sermon over at the U.S. Mint, they're going to add even more this year. So we might get half of its max production that it's ever done. 24 million coins for the 2023s, Silver Eagles. Way, way, way below consumer demand, which is the law. So, according to Jack, they've already bought their silver blanks for the year and aren't going to go out and buy any more, even though they're required by law to bid as high as they can to secure enough silver blanks. They should be selling 100 million Silver Eagles every year, with the premiums about, $2.50, $3 over. Nothing more than that. The mint is illegal for the mint to make a profit on Silver Eagles, and yet they do. They made a huge profit, like $80 million on it last year. What are you doing? What are you doing, Ventress and Clan? It's not Ventress. I know she's just the puppet, but she's the head of the mint. You need to stand up and say, hey, I'm the head of the mint. I'm going to run this like a mint. I'm going to make Silver Eagles to meet demand like I am legally required to do, even though my boss, Janet Yellen, tells me not to. It's really embarrassing. So Ventris Gibson will go out to these coin shows and say, oh, yeah, the mint's the greatest thing ever. You took the mint from the number one, the best silver coin in the entire industry for the last, well, since the 1980s, and all of a sudden, the U.S. Mint can't make as much Silver Eagles as they're making up in the Silver Maple Leafs. We're now number 2, probably going to be falling to number 3, all because of Ventris Gibson and this administration. That is embarrassing to put on your resume, Ventris. Embarrassing. And it's completely un-American what you've done to the mint. So, you notice David Ryder, when he was in there, was making quite a bit of coin. Let's take a look at what David Ryder was doing. And I think you can really see the difference here. When he was there in 2021, I believe. Let's take a look here. Yeah, this is when he switched to the back of the eagle. So it's adding to the nest, and they added the notch, which what they needed, I guess, according to Honeywell specs, so they can scan every single Silver Eagle to put it on a blockchain, if you ask me. If you scan the crystalline structure, every Silver Eagle is different. Every single one is different if you use the right technology, and Honeywell invented it. And that was his job over there at Honeywell before he came back to the mint. Yeah, David Ryder. Hey, if you're listening to this, David, give me a call and I'll do an interview. Let's have an interview. Let's talk about really what's going on there at the mint. So David Ryder was here until the changeover, and then it was August that he got booted. So they went from 4,700,000 coins in January, 3.1 million in February, 4 million in March, and then they did the changeover and they had to stop everything. I don't know why. 2.8 million, 3.1 million, 3.9 million, and then Ventris Gibson comes in, 2.7, 1, and it just fell off the chart. So Ventris, you're the one. Sorry, you're the last man standing on who we can blame over there at the mint. I don't blame the sales department. They'd love to sell as many Eagles as possible. I do blame the lawyers. The mint lawyers used to tell Jack, hey, you can't charge a premium. He's like, I want to charge a premium because everybody wants these. He's like, it's illegal to charge a premium on Silver Eagles. And now they're doing it. 80 million they made on Silver Eagle bullion and gold, silver and gold Eagle bullion. That's illegal. It says right there what the price you sell it for is your cost only, without a markup. Embarrassing. Anyway, really interesting. Fed's presidents agree. Soaring 10-year yields means no need for further rate hikes. Yeah, good luck with that. So they're printing as much money as possible. They're bailing out banks left and right. They're giving banks free money and then 4 or 5% interest on that money, just holding it at the Fed. And what do regular Americans get? You get squat diddly. You get Joe Biden throwing away our assets. The largest debt of the United States, or the largest asset of the United States, is student debt. All these students that stole money from the government and promised to pay it back at almost nothing interest aren't paying. So because they're not paying, Biden wants to give them all free college tuitions. That doesn't bode well for everybody else. There is such thing as a free lunch if you're a Democrat majoring in, female boxing studies or whatever your major is. No debt should be forgiven. If you took that debt, you pay it back. You already got a cheap interest rate. Pay back your debt. Go to work and pay off your debt. Not going to happen, by the way. I would like to remind everybody that no government in the history of the world has ever paid off the debt. In the United States, we don't even talk about it anymore. We just talk about, okay, how are we going to expand the money supply in the United States? We need to get more people in jobs, and $6, $7. I paid over $6 for gasoline the other day in California. $6 a gallon. It is insane. I know they've had these prices per liter for a very long time. But in the United States, we have so much oil and gas hidden, especially Gull Island, Alaska, all over the United States. Trump had us energy independent. We were actually selling gas and making money. And oil. Not anymore. Good job, Joe. You sold everything out of the strategic oil reserve, and now what are you going to do? How are we going to fill that thing back up? Oh, that's for the next president. There won't be a next president. Hint, hint. Speaking of that, RFK ditches the Democrats to pursue a 2024 presidential bid. Good move by him, because the Democrats would never let him become the candidate. First of all, even if every single Democrat on the planet wants that to happen, the Democratic Party that controls that kind of thing, they're not even having debates. Are you kidding me? Why are the Democrats even allowing this to happen? They're not going to have debates in the Democratic Party. Because can you imagine Joe Biden, their number one candidate, up there trying to debate anybody, even on their own side? It would be so incredibly embarrassing. That's where we are. Lots more to come. People have been asking me about the war. I'm not going to go down that path, other than I saw a building in fall at free fall speed. So that's, take everything with the... I don't believe anything anymore, because it's all fake. It doesn't mean people aren't dying. They are, absolutely. It's like 9/11. People died on 9/11, massive amount, but it was still something other than what they told you. I really believe that what's going on in Israel and all that, Lebanon and soon to be Iran, is something other than what they're telling us. I heard Biden wants to give another $100 billion to Ukraine or something. Are you kidding me? Why don't we throw Joe Biden on the front lines and Kamala and give him an Uzi and see how well they do on the front lines? That's what I think. Anyway, can't talk about that on Radio Unfree America on YouTube. So that's all I got for you. Go to roadtoruder.com. Join the private road. I can talk on the private road, and I do every week. So go check that out. If you join the private road, it's $2.99 for a year, less than $1 a day. We'll send you one Veritasium token loaded on a paper wallet. This, I believe, will be the best crypto to own after the crash, after we start getting things back on track. So that's where we are. This is Bix Weir. I'll talk to you later.
All right, it's time to have a little fun with our friends on the comics. This song goes out to that big old gigantic naked short out there. You know who you are. It's kind of lonely at the top, ain't it? I thought I heard the people say, pay me my silver now. Tomorrow's another trading day. But pay me my silver now. Watching the COMEX prices rise. Pay me my silver now. JP Morgan naked shorts the highs. Pay me my silver now. Pay me, pay me, pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver now. CFTC, you better shut it down. Pay me my silver now. There's people rising up in every town. Pay me my silver now. The Gatta boys are in the know. Pay me my silver now. Tinfoil hats at the silver show. Pay me my silver now. Pay me, pay me, pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver now. Butler nails you every time you try. Pay me my silver now. The BPS shows how much you lie. Pay me my silver now. The game is done when the silver's gone. Pay me my silver now. COMEX metal in the warehouse, none. Pay me my silver now. Pay me, pay me, pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver now. The banking boys melt that witch. Pay me my silver now. Deliver those bars and melt that bitch. Pay me my silver now. Pay me, Pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver now. 'Cause now is the time to free our land. Pay me my silver now. Silver in my pocket, paper in the can. Pay me my silver now. Pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver now. Pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver now.